Welcome to Campaign Chronicles, talking today with Mark Katz of the Soundbite Institute, the Daily Beast's tactical humorist, talking about the uses of humor in politics and political speeches. This is a subject that fascinates me. Talk to us a little bit about the way humor is playing out in the current campaign on the trail. We're going to do some positive examples and then some negative examples.
Sure. Humor is a form of communication like any other form of communication, and if you know what you're doing, you can communicate any message you like. So on the campaign trail, there's, it's kind of an underutilized, but you're seeing some examples of how they use humor effectively. People are naturally funny, and Mitt Romney is a lot like a person in many significant ways, right? And he's, it's fascinating to kind of watch this humanoid interact among the other Homo sapiens, trying to connect with them.
Tell us about this clip. He's using his now semi-infamous America the Beautiful sort of singing / recitation. Now he goes off about amber waves of grain.
That's right. So this started with a little aside joke in Iowa where he would sing America the Beautiful and he'd get to amber waves of grain and he'd say,
"For amber waves of grain, corn counts, doesn't it, as an amber wave of grain?" Yes.
So let's assume that was spontaneous the first time. For the next 2 weeks, he does it again and again and again at every stop as though it were spontaneous. It's never anything less than, you'll forgive me, corny. And it gets real tired real fast. And he goes then he goes to New Hampshire, still does it. People in the room were wondering, does this guy even know what state he's in?
Yeah, because
right?
corn in Iowa makes sense.
That's
corn
right.
in New Hampshire, you're just
That's
no
right.
longer paying attention.
And then it degenerates to, in Florida, we just saw him singing America the Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty above the fruited plain.
To me, it's the tritest, lamest thing ever. I mean, it's like, you know how Republicans make fun of liberals who are sitting around singing Kumbaya?
Yeah.
Well, liberals imagine the Republicans sit around singing God Bless America and that kind of stuff, and there he is doing it, and it's so artless.
Well, let's talk about humor that's worked on the campaign trail so far. We got two examples. We've got Newt riffing off teleprompters, and Rick Santorum sort of on the fly talking a hit on Ron Paul in the debate that I think did work.
That's right. Okay, so let's talk about the Newt, because at every opportunity, in every speech, Newt Gingrich works in a reference to a teleprompter, builds a joke around it with regard to President Obama.
To be fair, I don't want you to be disappointed, but I already have conceded that he can use a teleprompter if he wants to.
I was fascinated by this because I did not understand it. I kept on saying, I don't understand what they're laughing at until I did.
You don't listen to enough talk radio.
Well, that's exactly it. I don't. And that joke was never meant for me to understand it as a card-carrying Democrat. That joke, this reference to the teleprompter, is kind of a Republican trope about President Obama. It is the very symbol of his fraudulency. They imagine that he's not, he's the words, his eloquent, stirring words that we all fell in love with, or many people fell in love with
not everybody,
in 2008, are somehow a fraud. They're not his own. He's reading them off a glass plate.
Quickly, let's talk about Rick Santorum and Ron Paul in the debate.
Well, Rick Santorum actually pulled off a joke with the highest degree of difficulty. There is a red light staring right at him on a debate in New Hampshire, and Ron Paul has some problems with his microphone, and you hear feedback.
Yeah.
That's right. And Ron Paul says something like, "There it goes again." I didn't even understand his joke. And Rick Santorum goes,
They caught you not telling the truth, Ron.
But really...
I was very impressed. One, it's on message, trying to correct things that are said incorrect about.
Ron Paul been attacking Rick Santorum's record.
That's
for a while, right?
correct. So it was on message humor in real time, and he's standing on a high wire as he's doing it, and I was impressed.
So there you go. Who knew? Rick Santorum,
I applaud him for
possibly
that.
the most successful joke maker.
I was impressed
of the 2012 Republican caucus. Mark Katz, the Daily Beast tactical humorist. Thank you very much. We'll do this again.
Thank you.
All right. That's all for us at Campaign Chronicles. We'll talk to you soon.